Welcome back to Cars of Sweden Live, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Saab 9.9 Turbo. But before that, let's take a quick look at this little pocket rocket. So now we're in the other Saab. Which one was this one?
This is Saab 99 Turbo.
99. Right. So was this like before the 900,000 series?
This is the baby that launched the Turbo. This is the Turbo. This is the Turbo, the first Turbo model they brought out. So this is what Saab is famous for, the Turbo engine.
Right.
As you can see, there's a Turbo there. Even now, in this, talking 40 years later, it still rolls well.
Oh, it does, yeah. God, it's still got some. Wow. What year was this model?
1980.
Wow. That's very impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's still got some beans for a car that's 40 years old.
And it's you know, and it idles really quietly as well. I quite like this interior, actually. You know. You'd expect something in the 80s to be, you know, feeling a little bit ancient, but this actually has some kind of modern feel to it, doesn't it?
You can see it's developed a bit since the 60s.
I like this more than the 90s, 2000 interiors, actually.
I mean, this is like, it had all the things it needed. Of course, it was Saab, you know, you could crash these things and you would survive. Yeah. Everything else you sort of like died in. These are built to impact. The first one with a turbo engine. I mean, they were just.
So even back then in the 80s, that's what they were still concentrating on safety.
Safety, yeah, exactly.
Just like Volvo as well, I guess.
Yeah. Safety cars.
This is really nice.
And it's very clean, and you've got the classic, like vented back window there. And this drives really well.
It drives incredibly well. And I can see that as soon as you put your foot down, there's power.
Yeah, you're getting power like power on 3,000 RPM, and then put your foot down. You see the turbo winding up.
Wow. This must have been quite revolutionary in its time, wasn't it?
This was a rocket ship.
Yeah.
I mean, 1980s. What do we have to compare? An Escort, an Orion. Some crappy Japanese things. I mean, they came Saab with this, and everyone's like, whoa, what's a turbo? And everyone knows what a turbo is. As soon as you put your foot down, it's the pickle. I mean, it's still, you know, in a car that's 40 years old, we're still talking.
Yeah, and it still handles.
There's no banging, there's no clanging.
It's incredible. And what's the engine like? Is it an original engine in there as well?
It's an original engine, yeah, 4-cylinder.
So this is like what you bought when you bought a Saab Turbo back in the 80s.
Yeah. You bought the design, you bought the safety, you bought the power. I mean, this is what launched all the Saabs. The 900s, the 9000s, all the Saab propellers with the Saab engine, with the turbo.
And then it'd be, you know, I don't know if you know the numbers, but I'd be really interested to find out what the numbers were on this car, like 0 to 110 kilometers and 60 times. Because
if I guess without checking, I would say 0 to 60 around 8 seconds.
wow.
Which is a quick car back in that day.
I mean, if you consider, nowadays you can still buy cars with all the technology we have now that will not do that, or will do that.
And if you look back, I mean, you were buying a Porsche for like probably 3 times the amount of money of this. That was doing about the same.
This is a really nice car. And this one's up in the auction as well.
Yeah, it's coming out in June as well.
I mean, we're in Sweden, 99s. I mean, is there a lot of them around?
They're getting more and more hard to find, especially turbo models, because turbo is the one that everybody wants.
Right.
To find a good turbo car these days is hard, and this has been well kept.
So again, another opportunity to get yourself a heritage Saab.
Yeah, and I mean this car,
And a performance one.
you can sit and drive like a nice daily driver.
Yeah.
Nice car to drive in the summer, and it's still quick.
Yeah. I'm amazed by how quick it is. What sort of gearbox are we talking? Is it 5-speed, 4-speed?
4-speed.
Right.
And it's got the classic Saab, so you have to put it in reverse to get the key out down here.
Right, the key's in the same place.
We put the key there because if you had a crash, often the key was here.
Right.
So when you crash, your knees took the impact on the key.
Right.
So Saab put the key down there for safety reasons.
Right, okay. I always wondered that.
And that's always been in the same place ever since. So I mean, they were really well ahead thinking of safety.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why people bought these cars, because they were safe to drive, and with a good turbo, you can, as soon as you put your foot down, it's responsive.
Yeah. Really responsive. No, I'm literally shocked about this car. I had no idea.
It's not one of those cars this car was kind of sold to that type of Saab customer back in the day. Usually the category of type of customer is like a lawyer or a dentist or a vet.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
It was more like that sort of car.
Right.
Instead of it was an alternative like a BMW. It was a little bit more fun to drive and a little bit quirky design.
Yeah.
So that's where they pitched their sort of customers. And I think that followed all the way through to Saab finished in 2008.
God, was it 2008? Wow.
That was a dark day. A dark day. I mean, I've grown up with Saabs and I love them. I think they're fantastic. But if I had to choose now, which one is it going to take? Which one? If I'm going to take this one or the 2-stroke?
I think you would take the 2-stroke.
Hands down, I'd take the 2-stroke.
But me, there's no competition, mate.
I mean, this is a more practical driver's car.
Yeah.
But I have a smile on my face, but not as much as I had a smile on my face in the 2-stroke.
I'll give you a race with this in the 2-stroke, mate.
I think this would probably do your BMW.
You reckon? No chance.
It would give you a good run for the money.
Yeah, for a little while.
So
but it's impressive.
It's impressive for a 40-year-old car.
Definitely.
It's still got plenty of oomph.
So that's all we have for today's show. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like and subscribe. Just a reminder that both of the cars that we featured on today's show will be up for auction on Bilweb on June the 3rd, 2021. So until next week, we'll see you again for some more Cars of Sweden live.